In the beautiful hills of Tuscany in Italy, there lies a racetrack known as Mugello, built back in 1974, hardly changed since. It's 3.259 miles of absolute beauty. MotoGP race here for their Italian Grand Prix. With them not here this year, it's time for us to come and play. 43.2 meter elevation change around this 15 corner circuit. And the driver is already saying that it's brutal on the neck. 3 tyre compounds. Hard is the white, it's the C1. The medium is yellow, it's the C2. And the red is the soft, and that is the C3. Good afternoon, everybody, and good morning wherever you are in the world as well. And welcome to Watch Along commentary for the third practice session of the 2020 Tuscany Grand Prix, which is Ferrari's 1,000th race. And I'm desperately trying not to say this is the Italian Grand Prix part 2. Track temperature 39 degrees. Air temperature is at 27 degrees. That's 102 Fahrenheit track temperature, 80 Fahrenheit on air temperature. Wind speed 7.2 kilometers, blowing towards the south as well. And you may notice there's an empty chair alongside me if you're watching along. That's because Megan Birch is running a bit late. She'll be here soon. So you've got me just for the beginning of this session as well. Track type, it's a high-speed circuit, full throttle for 46.9% of the lap, 203 miles per hour top speeds. It's a high downforce circuit and a high tire wear circuit as well. Get your comments and questions in below on the YouTube chat. Use your hashtag JB Motorsports on Twitter, at Joshua Birch 99 on Instagram and Twitter as well, if you'd like to ask me a direct question. But please feel free. We've got the YouTube chat live up on the other monitor in the commentary box. The camera is here. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all well. And welcome to day 2 of Mugello. We're live all weekend long for the Ferrari 1000th Grand Prix. It's live in honour of their race. 1000, first, of course, back in 1950 at the Monaco Grand Prix. First victory and first pole position, first podium all came at the 1951 British Grand Prix at Silverstone. But the high track temperatures here means that we're going to see a lot of action in this third session as well. And this is an aerial view we're looking at of the track right now. It's a long sweeping sector through the start and finish straight towards the very heavy braking zone of Sieta at turn number 1. Uphill immediately feeds into the braking zone for turns 2 and 3. A quick left-right complex, which we already saw this morning in the Formula 3 Championship in the race, is perfect for side-by-side running. Drop down the hill then through, as you come through Casanova at turn 4 and 5, dropping down the hill before the Ariabata 1 and 2 corners, which is going to be flat out, downhill section, right, left, uphill, double right apexes. It's going to be fantastic come qualifying later on, which Megan Birch will join me for. She is actually on her way to the commentary box as well, I'm being told in my ears. Up through Ariabata turn 9, then downhill in towards a Mickey Mouse section. The last 2 chicanes on the track are turn 11 and 12. Then it's a bunch of hairpins as well. Downhill, turn 12, 4th gear corner. Throw it into the right. Let the exit camber sort of drag you around as you come through the chicanes. Again at 13 and 14, flat out kinks to the right and the left, and the long last corner, the turn 15 hairpin, a double apex corner that definitely does give you a bit of a bump down the start finish straight. And the FIA have updated the track limits. The track limits, the exit of turns 3, 5, 9, 11 and 15 will not be monitored. The defining line at each of these locations is the gravel trap. It's an old school circuit, so we've got a gravel trap as the barrier mark, and the green light is on, and the third practice session is underway here for the Tuscan Grand Prix, and we have a car heading out onto the track. One of them, it looks like a Haas. I believe it's going to be Kevin Magnussen. It is indeed Kevin Magnussen heading out, and Haas just tweeting right now, actually, let's get Saturday started as well. And the Tuscan Hills, an absolutely beautiful circuit as well. Of course, one of these corners is called Tuscan as well. So we've got a lot of track names to learn this weekend, and we'll get them ready for the race. Obviously, I know quite a bit about this circuit because I also commentate on the MotoGP as well. And if everybody watches at home, as well knows this circuit for MotoGP. You know the complete difference we're going to see this weekend compared to the two compounds. Now, just at the moment, we'd just like to point out that it is just me at the moment. Megan Burge will be joining us in a few moments' time, as I've just got a message through on my Twitter asking where she is. She will be here soon as well. And Ian Burge will be back with us tomorrow for the Grand Prix commentary as well. Sebastian Vettel just getting ready now at the back of the garage. A man very much with a reassured contract for 2021 after it was announced he would be joining the Racing Point team, which is going to become Aston Martin for 2021. Unfortunately, that kicks out the brilliantly charming Mexican of Sergio Perez. I don't know where he's going at the moment. We said yesterday, actually, in the Free Practice 2 commentary, that he would actually be good in an IndyCar team if somebody wanted to pick him up. And it was announced this morning that Zak Brown is actually interested in getting Sergio for his McLaren IndyCar team for 2021 if he can't find a seat in Formula One, which I thought was absolutely lovely because Sergio did race for McLaren back in 2013 in that only year he did with the team as well. Got dropped at the end of the year by Ron Dennis as well. Controversial opinions as well. They brought in Kevin Magnussen. But it's going to be an interesting one to see exactly how Perez is going to move around. And as he said yesterday as well, one decision with Ferrari deciding to let Sebastian Vettel go leads to knock-on effects, not only for Formula One, but for other international championships, IndyCar, World Endurance Championship as well. The Block Park GT was even rumoured around. Even the World Touring Car Championship and the British Touring Car Championship was having knock-on effects as well because all those drivers are moving around. It seems crazy, but motorsport is such a tight-knit community. It really does feel like it's going to go quite quickly. Once one driver falls, it leads to others falling as well. More helicopters flying above me in my commentary box area, if you can hear that as well. Hopefully, you're having a better Saturday than I am having to fill without Megan here so far. Pierre Gasly out on the track now, but I think he's just coming in. He is indeed. We've had Magnussen, Kvyat, Sainz, Grosjean, Norris, and Gasly out of the track to do installation laps. Lewis Hamilton, 4th in practice 1, 2nd in practice 2, but still only a couple of hundredths off the time of Valtteri Bottas yesterday. A reminder that you can go back onto YouTube and watch the Friday practice review that aired just before the beginning of this program. As well, so you can feel free to go back and have a look at that. The Saturday practice review will be at 1:30 today, just before we go on air for qualifying at 1:55 as well. That's all British Summer Time, and we're live all weekend long here on YouTube. George Russell, who got mocked by half the paddock actually after he posted a shirtless picture of him on his Instagram in the back of the Williams truck. And all jokingly, of course, all of the Formula One drivers and even some of the media were taking the mick out of him. But it's all in jest as well. And it's nice to see that every now and then you get the sense that Formula One really is a community between the drivers and teams as well. It's they call it the Piranha Club, but it really is a welcoming place once you've established yourself, which I think everybody has, and especially George Russell has. Some cracking performances in qualifying too throughout this year. Can he do it again today? Well, he was 16th, wasn't he, yesterday in practice, number 2 as well. But let's keep your fingers crossed that we could see something. And here's Valtteri Bottas, the qualifying form. 2nd in the British Grand Prix. Of course, we covered that race live. He took pole position at the 70th anniversary Grand Prix as well. And then he's had a run of seconds following on since then. Has progressed from Q1 at the last 104 races as Valtteri Bottas since he joined the Mercedes team in the beginning of 2017. Sebastian Vettel doesn't have that record, unfortunately, because he got kicked out of the first part of qualifying last time out at Monza. Ferrari, though, looked to be a bit more powerful this weekend, I would like to say as well. As Ferrari this weekend looks to be a little bit more better, I want to say. As I got distracted by Megan walking into the back of the commentary box. Here she is. Ferrari looking quicker than a backfield team, so it's going to be something to see. And I'm delighted to say that for those listening on radio commentary, that joining me now in the commentary box is Megan Birch, someone who missed the Italian Grand Prix and doesn't regret it, but she was here on Thursday. But welcome back to the commentary box, Megan. How have you been so far this week?
Fine.
Just fine. Bit tired
Yeah.
still.
A bit.
Well, how you've been doing your GCSE work, haven't you? For now, that's why you missed
Yes.
Italy. Just quickly, let's get your thoughts to begin with on Pierre Gasly, a Grand Prix winner now. What do you make of that with AlphaTauri?
I think it's good.
The race last time out got red flagged. First time since 2017. I sent you a text message during the race saying red flag, and you responded with seriously, first time in 3 years. So I just want to put this to you. You are usually the curse of the sport with that you come into the box, the session gets stopped. You stayed away and we had a better race. So this weekend in Tuscany is going to be a little bit more interesting with you back in the box.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm such a curse to Formula One.
Well, especially to Brendan Hartley.
Yeah.
We discussed that many times.
Though, I tell you what, when I was playing, what was it, Mugello,
Yeah.
a couple of days ago, every time Joshua came into the room, I started slowing and I crashed.
Yeah, that wasn't exactly a great thing. I think I distracted Megan a bit too much.
You were distracting me.
Accidentally, I'd like to point out, I distracted you. I did it deliberately.
That's why I did it deliberately when you were on it.
It didn't work, though. I
Not
still
really.
beat your lap time. Quite dramatically beating your lap time as well.
Yeah, but you were always faster.
I know I'm always faster. Speaking of faster, Valtteri Bottas out on the track right now. Megan, you said on the preview... Oh, he's got off the track there. He's cut the corner at turn 14 as well. So I don't think the lap time will get deleted, but because they're not really monitoring the track limits this weekend because it's defined by the gravel trap.
It feels strange because I've driven on this.
You've driven the circuit, yeah, on the simulator, so you pretty much know everything about it as well.
I
But
know which corners are bad.
You know which corners are bad. You need to talk us through it in a few seconds, and that'll come in handy when we get to qualifying as well. Bottas top a 1:17.437. Good morning, Wibson. And you were in yesterday as well. Good morning. Hope you're okay. Watching from Belgium. That's normal. I have the same problem when my father enters the room while I'm playing. I crash. Yeah, it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like some family members are just curses to you.
Yeah, you take your eye off the ball and you go off. I mean, that's something that I was very eager that I wanted to get the VR system, so it's completely immersive. Although knowing you'd just probably do that to me and freak me out, or do that or something. Just
or start rocking your chair,
just moving it. So, oh wow, this is very simulator. Just looking at Valtteri Bottas down at the exit of turn 13, he did have a little bit of a lockup. And that's on course to go off the track. But you shouldn't be braking it that part of the track in 13 and 14 before the last corner. It is a flat out kink.
No, even I didn't brake at that point.
Yeah, it's a flat out kink, isn't it? Well, that's the problem. Sergio Perez, 1.2 seconds off the best time in free practice 2 yesterday. Went from 19th, though, to 7th, but only about 6/10 gain. That's not better for Racing Point. And the news with Sergio Perez is, if you were watching yesterday, as we lose our TV pictures, if you were watching yesterday with the free practice 2 watch along, you would have heard us talk about the accident coming out of the pit lane, and Sergio Perez coming over the hill and Kimi Raikkonen turning in on him into turn 1 that caused the second red flag. It's been
second.
Yeah, Lando Norris crashed out yesterday as well. Just like to point out as well that Sergio Perez has actually been given a 1-place grid drop as a result of that. It could have been a 3-place, but the stewards decided that there were circumstances to this happening, and they gave Perez the penalty because he came out of the pit lane and should have yielded. But in my opinion, I don't agree with that because that was clearly Raikkonen's fault. The only reason Perez got the penalty was that he was coming out of the pit lane and should have deferred to Raikkonen, who's on a fast lap. But Raikkonen turned in onto Perez.
That seems kind of on purpose.
Yeah, I know. Raikkonen, not exactly the friendliest driver at the moment. He's had a few incidents, especially last weekend in the Italian Grand Prix. He was an aggressive defender when his tyres were going off. He tried to go the long strategy, but unfortunately it didn't work. No cars out on the track at the moment. Only one time on the board, a 1:17.437 by Valtteri Bottas. Track temperature, 41 degrees. Air temperature, 28 degrees. For comparison, here in the UK, it's 16 degrees. No, I apologise. It's just changed. It's 17 degrees now, but it feels like 13. So it's cold, basically, in our commentary box.
So I'm happy because I prefer the cold weather.
You're happy. I'm not. I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt. You're wearing some long sleeved. Is that a blouse?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Blouse.
3/4 sleeves.
3/4 sleeves. Well, I'm getting a bit chilly. I might have to put a coat on by the time qualifying comes around.
I make it 3/4 sleeves because I just don't do it these.
Yeah, I don't either. When I wear shirts.
It just doesn't seem right.
So if you've got any
Right.
questions, sorry, Megan, I got a question there. Sorry, I do apologise. So if you've got any questions, get them in onto the YouTube chat. We are live all weekend long. Give you the times once again. The Saturday practice review follows this program at 1:30, and then we are live again, me and Megan, for qualifying at 1:55. Ian Burtree joins us tomorrow for the race commentary and the preview show. Everything kicks off tomorrow at 1 o'clock UK time with the Sunday race preview. Grand Prix live is at 2 o'clock. And then the Sunday race review is at 9 o'clock in the evening as well. It's going to be quite an interesting one. Looking forward because of Mugello.
It's so much work.
Yeah, well, because you're stuck in the box now, aren't you? If you think about it.
Not all day.
Well, you're back for qualifying. You're not in all day, but you're back for qualifying later.
Say,
for those for the comparison though, because we're live on YouTube, I'll show you the clipboard or the whiteboard. If you can see, there we are. Where are we? We're at the top here. That's our YouTube session, and then I've got MotoGP FP4 qualifying. Then I go on here for the qualifying. Then we've got IndyCar later on tonight as well. So I have got a very hectic schedule today as well. But it's pretty much a usual situation, isn't it? Of weekends for me. Last weekend was lovely. Your time. Last weekend was lovely because I only had one, the Formula One with Italy. That was it. Nothing else. This weekend, though, we got a surprise IndyCar race because they threw it in at the last minute going back to Mid-Ohio.
I'm pretty sure I have English, science, maths, homework.
Well, that's good for you. When are you going to get that done?
I don't know.
No, you don't, do you? That's a problem. We're back with pictures as well for Sky Sports to return from their ad break. Lewis Hamilton just taking it easy, going back into his garage. I am surprised at this, Megan, because you should know, there's the famous red helmet. Finally, we haven't seen that all weekend long. On the entrance to the Mugello circuit, the big red crash helmet with the word Mugello on it, which is quite famous for MotoGP as well. Of course, this track is owned by Ferrari, but MotoGP race on it for their Italian Grand Prix.
Of course, it's red. For I doubt they'll win.
Precisely. Doubtful, though, win. Doubtful. I'm sorry, Megan, just to get back to my original point. I am very much surprised that nobody's heading out of the track. The 15 minutes have gone. I'm very surprised no one's going out onto the track now because they need to get their runs in for qualifying to understand this track. It's a brand new track. We only race here once. Get on that track and learn it. I mean, you've learned it.
Yeah.
What was it 25 laps you did? I did 59.
Yeah.
Get on that track, get some action in as well. There's a lovely MotoGP-esque image. I
only stopped on 25 because you
wanted it back.
Yeah.
Well, I had a race to do. That's the only reason I left.
Yeah.
I wanted you back on it. Going forward, there's that new. Of course, Sebastian Vettel stopping yesterday in free practice 2 at the end, causing the third red flag. As well as a hectic day yesterday. He's got no change to power unit or anything like that because he did manage to secure the running order for it. So he's okay, luckily. But Lewis Hamilton getting into the car, his purple helmet with the Still I Rise on the back.
Ooh, that suits him.
6 stars, of course, on the helmet. Looking to make it 7 this year. He's got 47 points to Valtteri Bottas in second place. The question is, Megan, when's he actually going to win the championship? Because it looks doubtful that anyone's going to catch him. Unless the unthinkable happens and Lewis catches coronavirus. Then that might happen. Because then Bottas will definitely catch him up. Because I don't think Mercedes...
Because that's happened to Perez.
Happened to Perez. Can happen to anyone. Speaking of Perez, here he is, look. Not in the car yet.
Talk of a devil.
Yep. He's not in the car yet. He's been, as we said, 1 player's grid penalty for crash with Raikkonen in free practice 2. Actually, is he behind those monitors?
He is. I can see him.
Yeah.
Just like trying to play hide and seek. It's like, I'm part of the car.
We're looking now at Sergio Perez, the reason he got this penalty. So he comes out the pit lane downhill, locks up trying to avoid him, but Raikkonen just turns in on him. And Raikkonen knew that Perez was there. Well, how do you read that one, Megan, from practice 2 yesterday? How do you read that?
Why was...
It's tricky, isn't it, to read it?
Because Raikkonen was going quite close.
Yeah. Raikkonen.
So it's Raikkonen.
Yeah, I agree. It was Raikkonen. I think the stewards have been a bit harsh there on Sergio, but it's only one place. It could have been
Sergio
three.
didn't know he was there.
Don't think he did. Although the stewards say that he saw him in the mirrors, but I don't think you can't see anything out of
When
those
you're turning
mirrors.
around a corner, you don't look in your mirrors.
No, you can't. You can't think of that. You got to focus on the apex. And he locked up immediately to try and avoid him. I think Kimi acting a bit Kimi there, in my opinion. It's the old Kimi, the ones we saw in the McLaren days. I'm going through and bleep the rest of you as well. I mean, if you think about it, Raikkonen was a major factor as well in the crash in Australia in 2002 because there was two separate crashes. Ralf Schumacher hit in the back of Barrichello, and then Fischer-Keller and Massa all went spinning and making contact, but Raikkonen actually made a third contact and caused the carnage. And then he managed to get away, but had to stop because he had gravel and debris right down his seat. How now? Stewards and mechanics came right down in the back trying to get it out, and it was a large piece of carbon fiber as well. Unbelievable.
That must have hurt.
Yeah, you think Karun Chandhok's the oracle when it comes to Formula One knowledge? Hello, I've got a detailed memory for Formula One races. Although, ask me what happened last weekend, I could probably tell you a little bit about it. But ask me what happened in a race 15 years ago, I'll probably know. It's the things that stick in your mind.
You'll know it down to the dates.
Yes, I do. Well, there's just quickly, as we've got cars on the track with the two Alfa Romeos, Raikkonen and Giovinazzi. We've got an old home movie on of my granddad's 70th birthday party. It's the day after, and it's a Sunday.
Oh, no, what was on?
Yes, there was a Formula One on. I can just hear Murray Walker in the background. It was 1993, so I immediately went onto the computer and had a look around. It was Monaco, 1993. That was a great race. I think that was the last time Ayrton Senna won at Monaco and became a 6-time winner of that event.
Yeah.
As well, I think Alain Prost was on the podium then with Damon Hill. Here at Mugello, though, we've got Raikkonen setting quick lap times now, finally. Sorry about that. That was a massive frog in the throat. No one's actually wanting to set decent times, are they, at the moment? I'm not really sure why. Two Alphas heading out to the track. Ferrari's 1000th Grand Prix, though, Megan, and they were abysmal in Spa, let's be honest. All of the Ferrari cars out of the top 10. Double DNF for Ferrari, though, at Monza, because Vettel retired with brake failure and Leclerc had that massive accident. That's put egg on their face coming into this race. And then, of course, Vettel stops on the track in FP2. Question is this. Are Ferrari actually going to manage to get a top 10 result at their 1000th Grand Prix?
Probably at least one of them.
At least one of them. Who's your money on then, Vettel or Leclerc?
Leclerc.
What's your opinion on the Perez situation? He's been booted out and Phil Vettel to come in. It's sort of left Perez with nowhere else to go.
I think they're being unfair because they're kicking him out just as he has coronavirus. That's why he was going so slowly in the past few races, because he's recovering from the disease that we're all on lockdown for.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a bit harsh for Lawrence Stroll to sack Sergio, and he's been down recently, and his mother has had an accident, of course, in Mexico, and she's recovering as well. We send our best to her. We always see her usually around the Mexican Grand Prix paddock, but it's
coming back.
It's kick a man while he's down. It's kick a man while he's down, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
and it's not nice.
It doesn't give a good reputation.
No, well, there's Lawrence Stroll, businessman. I would have been surprised, though. I tell you what, if that press release had come out that it would be Sergio Perez alongside Sebastian Vettel and Aston Martin next year, I would have eaten my hat, because I would never have expected Lawrence to sack his son. But he hasn't. He's kept him on. But if that had happened, that would have been the surprise of the season and the year.
That this doesn't cause a rift between Perez and Stroll.
Which one?
Sergio.
No, I know I know Sergio Perez. I'm on about which Stroll. There's two of them. There's Lawrence or Lance. Lance. Okay, yeah. I think it might do, because I think it might actually create a rift.
You always think of them together as well. It's like when
Yeah,
you
they've
think
always
of
been, yeah.
Perez, you think of Stroll.
Yeah, used to be Ocon, but that was a bit of a toxic relationship. But yeah,
Toxic, more like catastrophic.
always making contact with people, always into the wall. And I do completely
But-
agree with you. It was a toxic relationship. And of course, Lance Stroll and them, it's been a bit of a do or die situation, isn't it, with them? You've got to perform because Perez has always had his seat on the line ever since Lance joined because Lawrence was never going to ever going to get rid of his son from that team. He's bought that team so his son had a drive. And yeah, it's a question is Perez was always racing to keep his seat. He's always racing to deliver and prove it.
And then
they gave him
they see an opportunity to get rid of him.
They gave him another year. They gave him a 2-year contract. No, sorry, they gave him a 3-year contract 2 years ago. He's got another year to go for 2021. And now he's had that just cut off because they want Sebastian Vettel.
Surely he can go against that.
Now, here's the thing. Guido van der Garde in Australia 2014 went against Sauber and took it to the legal court, was the fact that he had a contract to drive with the team, not the time Felipe Nasr. And it took until Sunday morning of the race to decide that it wasn't going to be Van der Garde in the seat because it was settled out of court. Now, if Perez was going to be like that, I think I might contest it with the Court of Appeal in Paris for contract dismissal.
Yeah, and also he was ill.
Yeah, I think the best situation outcome of this is the fact that Perez gets to drive either at Haas or in IndyCar with the McLaren team, as was mooted last night. But I think if he does decide to go against this, we could see him having his year paid for from that he's missing with Racing Point. He'll still have that year's money paid to him. As I think Dad suggested it yesterday in practice too. He would still have his money paid for him. I think that's the best one to make sense out of everything. We've got times on the board then. Finally, and Vettel's gone slowest of them all, and Leclerc goes second. Okay, 0.8 off of Bottas's time. It's Bottas top on a 1:17.437. Leclerc second, a 1:18.333. Raikkonen is third, a 1:18.469. Latifi fourth, 1:18.904. Carlos Sainz is fifth, a 1:19.164. Antonio Giovinazzi is 19th on, sixth on a 1:19.324. I think I might have already read that out, although it's a bit similar to Sainz's time, isn't it? Grosjean is 7th on a 1:19.471, and Vettel 8th on 1:19.793. Apologies for a bit slow because the timing screen was refreshing itself with sector times as we're on board with Lewis Hamilton now, who's gone fastest of all in the second sector at 21.214, but he's 2/10 off the pace. It's updated again. Yeah, there he goes. Magnussen pops up the order. Norris goes to 4th. Magnussen is 10th, but now improves up to 8th. But the computer's predicting Ricciardo to move up the order and does to P7. Here's Lewis Hamilton then in the Mercedes across the line. And it's a fastest time, 1:17.415. 4/10 off of the time we saw yesterday, 1:16.9. So he's got work to do there, Lewis.
Bottas isn't that far off.
Bottas is 0.022 off the pace. So can you just adjust your mic because I'm struggling to hear a little bit.
I'm also struggling to yawn.
Yeah. Bottas, as you say, Megan, is right, not too far off. And I think Mercedes are just pacing themselves here at the moment, and they're not going to drag this out. Hamilton is on a replay. Now, what's he done coming through towards Arabiata 1 and 2? Oh, just runs a little bit wide and just catches a little bit of the gravel at the exit.
What was that corner both me and you were struggling with so much?
Was that turn 2 or 3? No, that was Arabiata 2. Yeah, that's exactly where Hamilton's went off. Arabiata 2. Yeah, top of the hill.
Because we always seem to just go off.
It's impossible to get right, but
unless you're going really slow.
Yeah, and the drivers fall flat out. Yeah, it's flat out all too slow. If you're going a bit at the middle, you're going to mess up your lap completely and just sends you off because the amount of downforce needed there. Albon on the team radio. Now, unfortunately, you can't hear this, but we can. over our ears. There's a massive problem with the rears, did he say? I think I caught that.
Some aggressive misfires there.
Ah.
It came up on the screen.
Did it? Oh, thank you. At least you were watching. I was listening to the radio. Some aggressive, what was it again?
Aggressive misfires there.
Aggressive misfires. Well, Albon has had if Albon didn't have any bad luck, have no luck at all. It's been a rotten season for him. And I really do feel sorry for the Thai driver who was British born. He's just one of the upcoming greats. We saw he was like in Formula 2 as well. He is a quick driver. And of course, if you put him against Verstappen, of course, you're going to see that he's going to perform poorly. But Albon, I think, needs a couple more time. This is only his second full season in Formula 1 and his first full season with Red Bull because he got put in halfway through his rookie year at the main team. How is anybody supposed to cope with that? Learning a new car halfway through the season with no testing. It's just impossible.
We've got Perez and Ocon next to each other.
Yeah.
Recipe for disaster.
Perez is 6th, Ocon is 7th, and Leclerc's gone to 4th, Stroll's gone 3rd, Gasly goes 7th, Megan.
Thank goodness he split them up.
Which one? Yeah, Gasly.
Split them up.
Well, Gasly was quicker last weekend, of course, in the 3rd practice. Albon goes 5th. Just waiting for that time to come across the board. What is the time? Where is it? Albon's actually 1:18.275, but it's under investigation by the stewards. Don't know why that is. We'll keep an eye on it going forward. This is a replay of Romain Grosjean getting a little bit of a... Now, I don't know why Grosjean there is blaming the Alfa Romeo and he's going to hit the wheel.
Why is he drifting so much?
That was Romain Grosjean getting compromised by one of the Alfa Romeos and then drifting into him. I think, looking at it, I'm looking where Grosjean is. I think it was Antonio Giovinazzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Giovinazzi. And, we got 3 abreast. We've got the Williams and then Pierre Gasly and Max Verstappen all sort of forming together at Arabiata 1 and 2. All sort of in the way of each other. It's Raikkonen behind. And I don't know what Grosjean was thinking there. Because he made the mistake. It had nothing to do with the Alfa Romeo on the outside of the hairpin at turn number 12. And then Grosjean puts his hand up and has a go at him and then drifts into him. For me, Romain Grosjean is a driver on very much borrowed time. I think he should have been out of Formula 1 years ago. Grosjean was quick in Formula 2, did win the championship, of course, but he's not a great driver overall. He had some shining moments in 2013 after he sorted himself out, but Grosjean crashes a lot. Grosjean is not a thinker; he's a doer.
And it makes him more interesting, to be honest.
He does, but I don't think Grosjean...
That's why they keep him around.
Yeah, I don't think Grosjean's got long left at Haas. Rumour is that his contract's up at the end of the year anyway, and they'll keep Magnussen, but Magnussen's just as bad.
Maybe they can put Perez there.
That was the plan. Yeah, that was the plan. Honestly, yeah, it was going to be that Perez would go to the team. And I'll tell you what, the cold air in here, the dry air, really does make you yawn with your throat as well. Apologies if we feel a bit dodgy today. It's not us, it's the commentary box here, because there's so much work just outside our commentary box going on the main road with other people that we don't have any control of, obviously. But it's just drifting into the commentary box.
Also, I've been up really early every single day this week, and I haven't had breakfast all week.
That's not good. It's the most important meal of the day.
I had it today. I had pancakes with syrup.
I had pancakes with jam for breakfast today.
You can see the difference. He has jam. I have syrup.
I know. I've got bolognese for dinner as well. Very Italian.
I don't know what my dinner is.
I don't know either. Hamilton does a 1:17.415, goes top overall. Kvyat jumps to top 10. Bottas 1:17.239, 0.176 seconds quicker than Lewis Hamilton then. So the time's already coming up. Max Verstappen now on the medium compound tyre. What can he do across the line? Splits the two Mercedes. 1:17.298, 0.059 off of Bottas. So within the same tenth of a second. Now that is impressive. That is very, very impressive. Half an hour to go then here in the third practice session, the first session of the day. Qualifying coming your way at 1:55 live here on YouTube with watch-along commentary. And George Russell just sitting in the car, getting ready to head back out onto the track. And of course, Megan, I'm sorry if you can hear that siren behind us. I know we can hear it over our headsets, and these are noise cancelling, so I'm sure you must. There's Matthew Savage, the chairman for Dorilliton Corporation as well, the new owners of Williams. And of course, Megan, this is the first time ever Williams being run by a non-family member in the sport.
Maybe they'll actually win.
Likelihood?
We can hope.
Not this year. Maybe not even next year.
But then again, look where they are.
2022 would probably be their best year. Well, Latifi's 13th. I think, could we see Russell into Q2 again, like we saw, I've seen many times this year?
Maybe.
Or is Latifi finally going to get through? Best of result
I
last time.
really hope he's had a rubbish year.
You better say that again, because I didn't hear you.
He's a rubbish year today.
He's had a rubbish year.
Yeah.
Who has?
Latifi.
Oh, Latifi really has had a rubbish year. His best finish was 11th last time out in Monza, first year in the sport. Constantly out-qualified by George Russell. It's at 8-0 at the moment. And of course, something that we haven't mentioned this weekend is the fact that we have now clicked over the 8 races required to make this a world championship, no longer a World Cup. So we've got past that. So this is now an official world championship season, but we still have to get over 13 races to make it a television broadcast to pay out the money for the broadcasters. So we've still got to get to 13 races before the season is properly official. Pit stop for Vettel with a new engine, but no penalty required. On board now with the AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly, Grand Prix winner. Pierre Gasly, we'd just like to point out as well, after a tremendous race at Monza. Where is he? Just on the track now. Oh, this must be an old lap because look, he's way over here.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
I think it's Kvyat. I think it's Kvyat in the last corner.
I've been around that corner.
On the simulator.
Yeah.
Well, saying that, I can actually tell you that while 2 siblings are here in the United Kingdom stuck in quarantine in the commentary box because we're not allowed at the race circuit.
2?
Yeah, 2 are here in the commentary box.
Yeah.
There's 3. Well, there's 3 here.
There's 3.
4 in total.
4 in total.
If I get back to my point, darling.
I was wondering, you were missing a sibling.
Yes, I know. I was blocking that out because there's 2 siblings here in the commentary box who cover the Formula 1 season, and we were supposed to be at some races this year, especially the British Grand Prix. But unfortunately, we've got locked down with COVID and can't get into the paddock, and there's no point going to broadcast outside the paddock. So we're stuck here in the UK commentary box. But it's very annoying, as the only sibling currently to go to races this year is our elder sister, who's Kellyanne, who is going to the Tuscany this weekend. She's driving down now, and is going to be there for the race, which is annoying because she was there in Australia, it got cancelled, and now she's here in Tuscany, and it's going ahead. So I'm very annoyed, but we'll see if she's anywhere near the track, if we can get her on the live stream tomorrow on video call. I can't control the bleeping steering, says Carlos Sainz over the radio. That's interesting. And rips him on the track. Megan is seeing ghosts, I think. Megan, are you seeing ghosts?
No.
What are you looking at?
I wanted to always go to Italy, and it's just I'm still angry.
Yeah. Well, yeah. 3 races in Italy this year. We can't go to any of them, which is unfortunate.
So I'm looking everywhere.
We're keeping our fingers crossed that we might be able to get to one of the races this year, but it's looking very much unlikely that we'll be able to get to go. So 2021 with pre-season testing, we're there. Don't know about you, dear, but I'm going. I think we'll sit you in here in the commentary box, and I'll be there.
Pre-season testing. What month is that?
February.
Oh yeah, I'll be deep in exam studies by then. That's revision time.
Well, I'll be off in Spain, jetting it up, having a nice time. Or Bahrain. It could be in Bahrain. So I might be in Bahrain.
You're having fun?
I'm
stuck working.
Or I could be following the Formula E season. I don't know. Anything can happen. So who knows? Stay tuned for more. Valtteri Bottas has been pipped at the top spot by Max Verstappen at 1:17.116. He's the new fastest time by the Red Bull driver, and he's done that, Megan, on the medium compound tyre. Now, that is surprising. The medium quicker than the softs. Or Mercedes has not turned up to 11 yet. Although they can't, can they? Of course they can't. Power modes have gone. Yeah, so
That must be a pain.
So this is the actual pace. It looks like Are Red Bull sacrificing some engine life to get them some performance this weekend to try and close that gap?
Probably.
Well, Verstappen retired last time out as well with engine issues at the Italian Grand Prix, which surprised me and Dad in the commentary box. And it now seems to be that we're going to have to wait to see what he can do this weekend. Lance, I was about to say that. It's just on screen now. Lance Stroll into the pit lane, going well. Well, how do you not go well? Permanent drive with the team that's becoming Aston Martin with Mercedes engines. If I was both Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll, I'll be laughing myself to sleep every night with the fact is that what they've got coming up in 2021. And of course, 2022, a whole new overhaul of the regulations is going to be insane. And of course, we've got Fernando Alonso coming back next year.
Yeah, which I'm really excited for.
Alonso coming back to fill Ricciardo's seat as Ricciardo's off to McLaren, who fills Sainz's seat is off to Ferrari, as Vettel's off to Racing Point, and Perez is left out in the dirt. Haas to replace Grosjean. Grosjean will probably go to IndyCar.
Do you know, I've always wanted to see Ricciardo in a Ferrari seat.
It was close to happening, wasn't it? What was it? Just before this deal, actually. But they re-signed Leclerc and then they re-signed Vettel. But it was close. Ricciardo was going to take over, and then he decided to go to Renault, which was bizarre. It was like, what was happening? He's made the sensible decision, though, to go to McLaren, which seems like the best idea ever. McLaren with Mercedes engines, with the chassis now back up to speed. And yes, McLaren are having some money issues, but they're back on track now, aren't they, the team? It's very nice to see. And hopefully, we got close to a victory last weekend, but it was the other team on the grid with the longest drought of 13 years that got the victory with Pierre Gasly and Toro Rosso, who now are AlphaTauri.
Williams last win?
2012 Spanish Grand Prix, Pastor Maldonado. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Let's have a quick think. Verstappen's last victory, well, that was the 70th anniversary Grand Prix for Red Bull. Mercedes' last victory was the Belgian Grand Prix. Going further back, who's next? Ferrari's last victory, Singapore last year.
Which is really bad.
That's 3. 4, Racing Point never had a victory. Haas never had a victory. Williams' last victory was the 2012 Grand Prix in Spain. AlphaTauri's last victory was last time out in Italy. 7th team on the grid. Alfa Romeo's last Grand Prix win was 1980, something or other.
What?
Yeah, or if you're going to be detailed about it, because they're actually running under the Sauber name, their last victory was the 2008 Canadian Grand Prix. If you
1980.
Yeah, before they left the sport. But if you're going on it, then it was actually, because they raced under the Sauber name as well on the official entry sheet, it's going to be the 2008 Canadian Grand Prix.
That's before Mum and Dad even met.
Yeah, going further forward, Renault's last F1 victory. Or Renault's is tricky. Do you count them as Lotus? Because they changed their name. If you count Renault as the Lotus name, their last win was Australia 2013. If you count Renault as Renault, their last victory was the 2008 Japanese Grand Prix. Going forward, who's the last team I haven't mentioned? I'm looking at the list now. I think I've mentioned them all, haven't I?
Have you mentioned 10?
Haas hasn't. No, there was one missing. I did Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari. I did no Haas, no Racing Point. McLaren. That's it, McLaren. McLaren's last victory, obviously, was the 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix with Jenson Button. So there you go. There's all the last victories for all the teams. And that makes it the biggest margin was technically Alfa Romeo in the 1980s. But it's the 2008 Canadian Grand Prix. So I presume they've got the longest winless streak.
You have a photographic memory when
it
comes to Formula 1.
I told you earlier on, Karun Chandler may be an oracle, but I know way more. So technically, 2008 Italy for Toro Rosso, 2008 Canada. Canada came first. So it is Alfa Romeo with the longest winning streak without a win in Formula 1. If you count them as Sauber, 2008. If you count them as Alfa Romeo, 1980. So there you go. Hope you all enjoyed that. I think I'll write that down and post it on my Twitter and Instagram later. So at Joshua Birch 99, go on that.
If you could take a GCSE, an A-level, or a degree in Formula 1, you would, and you would get Beyond A stars.
Everybody said that. Everybody said that to me when I was doing GCSEs, Megan. Everyone said if there was one on Formula One, A star. In fact, they did actually do a mock one for me. They created mock questions, and I just aced it all.
Seriously?
Yes, I did. Every single question.
Well, I did a speaking test on Formula One, and
That's the closest you got.
And I got a B plus.
Well, that's your co-commentator, so that's B.
Yeah, and it's
Although you've done some lead
I've
commentary.
done a maths
Yeah, you've done maths,
GCSE.
yeah.
But again, I was 11 at the time, and I got a D minus.
Yeah, that was impressive and a half. Yeah, Megan the family genius, we call her. Going forward, we've got Bottas and Albon out on the track now. They've come back out on the circuit. We've had a couple of drivers in and out all weekend.
By the way, if you're wondering, I asked Joshua to ask one of his teachers to get it for me. I didn't just decide one day to go and do a GCSE.
No, I asked them to give me a paper so I give it to Megan, and Megan did it.
And it was graded by them.
Yes, it was. Yeah, graded by the teacher.
I'm so proud of myself still.
Just looking then at some other additional stats as well to remind you of is the fact that qualifying later on is going to be dramatic because it's a tight, twisty single file circuit. We've already seen in this session it's easy to compromise another driver even when there's not a lot of cars out on the track. So do join us for qualifying 1:55 UK time here on YouTube for qualifying. Me and Megan will take you through it as well, and you'll see some papers on the desk and some post-it notes being passed around and everything, and as we try and work out what's happening. Hamilton and Leclerc are on the track now. Vettel is also coming into the second sector, just coming down Casanova, which is turn 6. Going forward, and then the Arrabbiata 1 and 2 corners, and then Aquafibiana is down at 13-14. It's looking all good. Should we run through the order? I didn't realise that we didn't have a monitor on. Let's run through the order then. I'll do the top 5, then you take over. And 5 each. So it's Verstappen on top, a 1:17, 1:16. Valtteri Bottas second, Lewis Hamilton third, Lance Stroll fourth, and 5th place for Charles Leclerc.
Albon 6th, 7th Gasly, 8th Raikkonen, 9th Perez, 10th Ocon. Grosjean
is 11th, Sainz 12th, Kvyat 13th, 14th for Norris, 15th for Latifi.
16th Ricardo. I was reading the wrong one.
Yeah, you read it up.
I started reading up. They're actually both in like
1:8,
1:16. Yeah. 17th Vettel, 18th Giovinazzi, 19th Magnussen, 20th Russell. Sometimes I hate time screens because how close they are.
They are very close to read, aren't they?
To start reading someone else's times.
I think we need a bigger monitor for those comparisons. This is what we're reading off our timing. This is what we're reading off our timing monitor, and it's incredibly hard to see when you're sitting further back. You've got to get right up close to it.
I literally struggle to read it, and I'm good at reading timing screens when I actually know which person they're going to.
We need a bigger monitor up in the commentary box. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monitors. Yeah, 6, 7?
6, 7 when I have my thing.
Yeah, 6 monitors in the commentary box, and 1 giant television, 1 little monitor, 1 laptop, 1 iPad, and 1 phone, and 1 monitor to show us the driver tracker. So it's a complicated system that we have to use.
And another iPad if I have it with me.
Yeah, but we need like another television monitor to put the timing screen on. It does get annoying. Or a bigger iPad, to be fair. That would probably think about it. 12.9, this is 9.7. Vettel is at the moment 17th fastest. He's on a lap time, but he's 1.17 seconds off of the new top time, which is Valtteri Bottas. The quickest ever. They've gone quicker. 1:16.530, 4/10 quicker than what he managed yesterday. So it is Valtteri Bottas with a new track record here in Mugello. He's going for it. 1.5, isn't he, Valtteri? You said in the Thursday preview show, this circuit will suit him more than Hamilton because Hamilton drifts on tight circuits. Bottas loves them. Vettel goes 6th, 1:18, 1:86. Oh, there you go, Megan. You wanted a lap time in Formula 1 that had the same numbers in it. You've just got it. Vettel, 1:18, 1:86. The only difference is the 6. There you go. Oh. You wanted that. Megan's dream is to see a 1:23.123. That's another one, isn't it? 1:23, 1:23. which if anybody knows that's ever happened in Formula One, give us the race, because to my memory, I don't think it ever has.
It's that and also a 1:23, 5, 6, 7.
I can remember the most.
Those two ones.
We'll just wait for Leclerc to cross the line. He's fifth at the moment, goes fourth, 1:17.488. And if you're Ferrari fans, absolutely fantastic, because we've got Leclerc fourth with Vettel in sixth. Ribsome on the chat saying Bottas for the win this Sunday, maybe. Megan predicted yes in our Thursday preview show, and I'm thinking she's absolutely spot on.
Great minds think alike.
Unless Hamilton just can deliver something else in qualifying. Like he's purposely holding back, not the engine modes, like he's physically holding back.
I don't think he is. I think he's going to go off a bit sometimes.
Yeah, it's a tight circuit.
Especially if it rains.
This is advantage Bottas in my mind. What I was just talking about something before the Leclerc came over the line and said, let's wait for Leclerc. Yeah, okay. The most famous pole time in Formula One history, a 1:21.072, set by 3 drivers with identical lap times at the 1997 European Grand Prix at Jerez. Schumacher, Villeneuve, Frentzen, all done a 1:21.872. That I do not know. Martin Brundle, I believe, thinks that it was Bernie Ecclestone manipulating the results to give the title fight a little bit more interesting, because everybody was like, how's that happened? How has 3 drivers got identical times? Apparently, there's a little piece of paper somewhere that shows what the next number was, because they ordered 1:21.072. Someone has the 4th thousandth of a second. Someone has got that 4th number, and they know who was quicker, but they've never released it.
Why not? I bet it's Villeneuve.
Because it's not. It's because it was. Well, Villeneuve took pole from Schumacher and Frentzen because they got it in that order. But the problem was, the problem was, of course, it's not part of the official rules. So you can only go to 3 decimal place numbers, not 4, like in other series which do 4.
Do you know? I bet it was Villeneuve who got faster. I don't know why. I just get that feeling that Villeneuve does.
Villeneuve took pole, took the championship in that dramatic race where Schumacher turned in on him.
They've got to release that someday. I want to see it.
I'll see what. Well, you can do some googling, see if you can find out if anybody said the number. Yeah,
I'm also good at finding people.
Yes, you are. Speaking of which, here's Kimi Räikkönen on 10th at the moment. His time is not on the board because he's just got up to 6th fastest. So his previous lap time has wiped itself from our monitor. It's a 1:17.843 for Räikkönen, and he goes 6th fastest. So Megan, if you are a Ferrari fan watching this as well, 4th for Leclerc, 8th for Vettel. It's looking better considering he spent the last 2 weekends further back the order. So this is looking quite good for Ferrari.
It is.
Pierre Gasly is hanging around the outside the top 10 as Magnussen goes 7th or 1:18.083. Big improvement for Magnussen considering he spent 19th fastest in FP2. Gasly outside the top 10 then. And the track's starting to get busy now, isn't it? We're getting very congested out on the track. I'm looking. Bottas has got some free areas. He's just passed Raikkonen. Magnussen's got some free air. I think that's it, actually. Everyone else
and Grosjean are going really similar times.
They are, aren't they? Where are they? There's Gasly and Grosjean. Their sector times matching. Grosjean just goes 7th. Grosjean on a 1:17.635. Danny Kvyat looking good as Giovinazzi goes 8th, and Kvyat does a 1:17.627, goes into 7th place overall. Reminder, we are live for qualifying at 1:55 here on YouTube.
Oh my.
What's happening with the board?
No.
Megan, look
at the lap times for Leclerc and look at Latifi.
Where's the TV?
Yeah.
1:18.072. Leclerc 1:17.488.
No,
oh, good.
1:45.
What? Where? I'm not seeing the board. Megan's pointing now.
There.
Oh yes, the last lap times was a 1:45 for Leclerc.
How is he all the way down?
And Latifi was a 1:18.170.
Why are they?
Yes.
Why is he up there?
I don't know. No, that's the last lap. Yeah, you're right. Actually, the lap times have glitched on our monitor.
Also, why has Stroll got a 15 point
15 minutes.
15.074.
Well, I know 15 minutes. He probably just taken a bike around the track, and Raikkonen stopped out on the track according to my monitor with 10 minutes to go. So I think we're actually having a timing glitch at the moment on our
It's
monitor.
restarted.
Yeah, because Stroll's now been restored to his last lap time of 1:52, as he's just on a lap now in front of us in the commentary box. I think we're having a timing monitor
Also-
malfunction.
Why is Hamilton a 2:47.300?
I think we're having a timing monitor malfunction, which does happen at new circuits. We've seen it happen before. There's just a little glitch. I mean, Mugello was, of course, an old circuit, but it's new to Formula One, and the sensors glitch every now and then.
If Latifi's got that, then he should be really far up.
That was their last lap time now, and here's our best lap time we've got back, and I think that's restored the order, is it?
No.
No, okay. We'll keep an eye on the timing monitor in front. So our timing monitor's gone belly up here in the commentary box, which actually happened in 1997 as well. Their timing monitor's blue. So ours have done the same thing. So we only got the driver tracker to show you and the monitor on the wall, which shows us the drop-down menu. Lance Stroll, though, personal best in the first two sectors. Same as his teammate with Perez, but Stroll's sixth. Is he going to go quicker than Leclerc? I'd put him as money as quicker than Leclerc.
Probably.
To the line. Stroll from sixth to third, a 1:17, 1:12. That's not bad. We've got a yellow. And I don't know why this yellow flag's out, because I can't see it. Sectors 2 and 3.
I swear if it's right.
I'm having a look on the monitor. I can't see it. It's Danny Ricciardo. Green flag is out. Track is clear. And I think it was Danny Ricciardo who just had a little incident on the track because he went very, very slowly through the back half of the track. Yes, no, it's Gasly. Pierre Gasly off the track at turn 11 and has continued on. Oh, and Ricciardo. Ricciardo had a little bit of a off after the 13-14 chicane. And there is Gasly with the destroyed front tyres. They've got loads of gravel on them and they're flat spotted as well. So Gasly off the track.
And this gravel's quite fine, isn't it?
Yeah, you can easily get through it. That's probably why he went off again. Megan, talk us through it.
So he goes a bit too wide, and that isn't good for this area, because then you start going. I actually went off on this quite a lot, and it's quite a pain to get back on again, and it really does mess up your engines.
Just coming back through Arrabbiata 2, getting up the hill, gets a little bit of oversteer, as Megan said, and then drops down the hill to turn 11, and off you go. You've done it, I've done it. Simple.
Once you get on the curb on this bit as well, there's no going back.
It's ever so simple as well, because the curb just drags you out off the track. It's got that camber to it, doesn't it? As you drop down the hill.
Yeah, it kind of just pushes you.
This is fun, actually, because it's the first time in quite a while you actually sat down and did a lap attack yourself and was able to learn the track, because it's new. So with other tracks,
I know the pain.
Yeah, with other tracks, you know where you're going. But because this is new, you've actually looked at it.
I know the pain of going off at this circuit.
It is a pain. Ricciardo very wide at the exit of turn 15 coming to the line.
I'm actually really good at that tight corner. That's first.
17th for Ricciardo, a 1:18.385. Only jumps up to 19th. So Renault going from being 5th and 6th in free practice 2 to 17th and 18th in free practice 3. That's an insane drop for anybody. Reminder, of course, fans at this track this weekend, 2,800 permitted per day with 500 spare tickets available to the general population. You're all spread out. You're all socially distanced as well. So it's a safe event to reopen to the fans. And, of course, next time out at the Russian Grand Prix, I know you're not with us. I'm not live that weekend either, just free practice 1 live and the rest with our usual programming. But the Russian Grand Prix will have fans as well. That is going to be insane. And going forward, I think Nürburgring's having some fans. Not a lot. No, Imola's definitely having fans. Portugal is also having a full stand as well. And going forward, thinking about it, Turkey's having some fans. Turkey are aiming to have full grandstands up to their 250,000 capacity because they're selling tickets for £3.
I just thought of something.
And of course, Bahrain, I think, is behind closed doors, as is Abu Dhabi.
Every time I think of like the fans, I just think of a bunch of fans.
As
Like,
in normal propellers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
propellers.
I thought you were going there. Well, it's been that long since we've had fans at Grand Prix. We've sort of forgot what they're like, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, earlier on when I was commentating on the MotoGP session, Valentino Rossi topped the third practice session with a brilliant time. And I could hear the cheers in my earphones. And it put a smile on my face because, like, oh, the crowd are here. Forgot about that. Oh, the crowd enjoyed that.
Do
There
you
we
know
go.
what I want them to do one day? Just fill up a stand with actual fans.
I know. I'm sort of disappointed they haven't done that at some point this year. Although we've got a few more closed door events to do. Verstappen on 1:16.547. He goes second fastest. We get to the business end of this third and final practice session. It's gone quite quickly, actually, isn't it? Thinking about it, this practice. Qualifying later is going to go like a click of the finger. The race tomorrow is going to be a long one. But
oh, goody.
You'd be delighted to know, everybody that is watching, though, that despite the fact that this is only our second live weekend, we are doing the Imola race live on YouTube as it's a 2-day event. And we're going to do a couple more live weekends before the end of the season as well. But we are looking at getting the OBS software working, the open broadcast software, and having a professional build-up, not just a camera on us talking. But it's looking good. Leclerc on the radio. I'm sorry to Kimi, but you should have told me. I didn't see Kimi, so I bleeped his lap. Well, that's another thing. I was talking about, Megan, with the fact that compromising a driver's lap at this track is possible quite easily.
Yeah, and he didn't see him.
He didn't see him. Completely didn't see him. Here's Ricciardo to the line again. He's 18th fastest.
They should have told him.
Ocon's jumped to 10th. They should have told him, yeah. He was right. Ricciardo goes 16th to 1:18.142, so he's not improving either. But so we are hopefully going to have a couple more races. To get over to my point, we are looking at getting the open broadcast software. And not this season, but for the 2021 season, we're looking at live broadcasting every race. We're only looking, but either we're going to broadcast a couple more or live broadcast every race that we do.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, it's no change, is it, really, for us? The only difference is that the camera's on. That's the only change because we do the races anyway.
Yeah.
So that's what we're thinking. There's no change to us. All we do is put the camera on. So that's a possibility going for 2021. Valtteri Bottas at the pit lane exit. I believe he's doing a practice start, unless he's stalled it. No, he's doing a practice start. That's good. Ribson on the YouTube chat. You also commentate on MotoGP. Yes. And the problem is, I've commentated on MotoGP for a couple of years. I started doing it just for practice. But this year, we were also going to do the same type of shows we did for Formula One. But we had an issue with the fact that we couldn't get a lap attack sorted. And we couldn't get graphics sorted. But that is now all done. So literally, we have got so many races that we've already filmed for our usual shows we do in Formula One. So we've got practice reviews, qualifying reviews, and race reviews, all compact into 1.5 hour show. And we've done that for every single race so far this year. And they are just waiting to be dropped onto YouTube. Hopefully in the coming months as well. So keep your fingers crossed for that. The British Touring Car Championship is a bit different. We haven't filmed any of that yet. And it looks like we'll give up on the touring cars until 2021 and start again. But the pandemic really has thrown us in it because what should have been live content filmed at the tracks has sort of become studio. And of course, it's difficult to get everyone together in the pandemic and get everything sorted whilst also doing the commentary box stuff. So we've got some MotoGP shows coming up and they'll be dropped. Also, reminder, we have got Le Mans coverage next weekend. We're not sure how it is, so stay tuned on my Twitter at Joshua Birch 99 and my Instagram with the same handle as well, and in the YouTube discussion of this channel as well, where I will drop all of the times for next week's show. We're planning on maybe a live hour here or there for Le Mans. And then our usual programming of reports going on the hours, but do stay tuned for that. We've got a lot of exciting things coming up on this channel as well, including a tie-up with another YouTube channel in another sport, not motorsport, in another sport that's coming up as well. And also starting on Monday at 8:30 there will be a Twitch stream commentary as well that I'm being the commentator for. I'm not running it, I'm just being the commentator for it on a Formula One PlayStation 4 league as well. We'll talk about that more tomorrow when I know more.
Monday,
but that's looking good. Yes.
8:30. I'll be on lessons for 5 minutes by then.
PM.
PM.
8:30 PM.
I was gonna say
UK time. But yeah, I'm just being the commentator for that as well. If you want to tune in, I'll give you all the details going forward tomorrow when I know more. And I've got to make my notes for it as well. And I'm very, very excited about it as well. Great opportunity coming forward. So please do join on Twitch. I'll give you all the details going forward tomorrow as well. The checkered flag has come out. The session is over. No one improved their lap time in that last couple of minutes, but there's the checkered flag waving to absolutely nobody. Oh, hang on, tell a lie. Here comes Lando Norris to the line. He's going to have a little bit of a checkered flag moment.
It's just like, I won't let you wave that flag for nothing.
Albon, I think, is going to improve his time. He's been going a personal best. Norris, 19th. That was very wide for Albon coming out of the last corner. But Lando Norris, a 1:18.826. Albon, 18th, and goes to 8th. Our only big improver so far, 1:17.538. And Leclerc's coming to the pit lane. Don't think Latifi is going to improve either. He stays into 16th. And this is Albon, the reason that he was a bit compromised, coming into the hairpin. Drifted wide. I don't know, just catching some dust. Yes, at the exit, just catches a bit of dust with the rear tyre.
That's bad.
Yes, not good. Rivson on the other. Well, qualifying will be interesting, I think. Yeah, I think I agree with you. You agree?
Yeah.
Who's your pick for pole, Megan?
Verstappen.
Really? Going against Valtteri?
I don't know. I'm just hoping it was a battle between Valtteri and
Verstappen. Yeah. Looking at it, I think it's going to be Bottas. I think Bottas is going to take pole. 1:16.530, fastest in all 3 practice sessions. Bottas is blowing the competition away here at Mugello. Let's give you the full running order then. It's Bottas who tops the session at 1:16.530. For Max Verstappen second, Lewis Hamilton third, Lance Stroll fourth, Pierre Gasly fifth, Sergio Perez sixth, Charles Leclerc seventh, Alexander Albon eighth, Danny Kvyat ninth, Romain Grosjean completes the top 10. Esteban Ocon is 11th, 12th for Carlos Sainz, 13th for Antonio Giovinazzi, 14th for Kimi Raikkonen. I did the same thing as you. 15th for Kevin Magnussen, Nicholas Latifi 16th, Danny Ricciardo 17th, 18th for Sebastian Vettel, 19th for Lando Norris, and 20th, no time set for George Russell either. He had no running in this session as well due to an issue. So, Megan, your tip for pole is Verstappen. Mine is Valtteri Bottas. What did you think of FP3?
I thought it was good, though Hamilton should speed up a bit more if he ever wants to win.
The third practice review, the Saturday practice review, coming your way at 1:30 UK time. Qualifying is at 1:55 with me and Megan in the commentary box. And of course, tomorrow is race day. Your Sunday race preview at 1 o'clock, Grand Prix live at 2, and the race review at 9 p.m, all British time as well. But join us at 1:55 UK time for qualifying, where we see who's hot and who's not under the heating Tuscany. From us all here, though, bye for now. 7.